We have some very good news, ladies and gentlemen, regarding the SBA PPP Loan Forgiveness Program. We were supposed to be able to get it forgiven, if you all remember, up to a certain amount if you paid for 60% of being your payroll and 40% being the other eligible requirements were involved. However, we're not going to go into the total details of it, but we are going to go into the fun part, and that is loans of $50,000 or less will be forgiven. Good news, very good news, and we're still holding our breath on it as far as what's going on, because we're all spinning our heads what's going on in as far as the stimulus package. It's all been a crazy carnival circus of a mess. Why am I wearing a Chicago hat? Is that what you said? Why are you wearing a Bears hat? I know, everybody knows out there I'm a Bucks fan. That is my team that I support, but I have a hat bet with a family member of mine, and if the Chicago was to win the game, I was going to have to wear the Chicago Bears hat. If the Bucks were going to win, he was going to have to wear a Bucks hat until our respective teams won the hat off of the head. So right now the Bucks would have to win this hat off of my head. So, and they don't play for another 10 days. However, they did offer me a monetary obligation where I could pay off and buy the hat off my head. So I will do that. I am going to buy the hat off my head. But however, I did want to show this video in good faith that I was wearing the hat as I was supposed to until the bet was purchased and the hat was bought off my head. Way to go, Bears. You got us this time. We'll get you next time. Here we go. Back to the loans. Everybody like and subscribe. Speak and see. Thanks for watching. Back to the SBA loan forgiveness for a total of $50,000. This came right from the Inquirer this morning. Business owners who borrowed $50,000 or less through the Small Business Administration Emergency Loan Program learned last week that their debts are forgiven entirely, provided they file the right paperwork. Key issue. File correctly. Do it right, but it's very simple. That's another good thing. The accountants urging customers to hold off applying for forgiveness to see if the government further sweetens the pot. Interesting. They just told us the other day to file now. Now they're saying hold off because we could sweeten it a little more. The Small Business Administration and U.S. Treasury issued new guidance for small business borrowers with loans of $50,000 or less under the Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP. Business owners who borrowed $50,000 or less can fill out a simplified one-page form and ignore some of the calculations required of borrowers. A link to the Form 3508S is available at SBA.gov or Googling SBA PPP Forgiveness Application Form. Anyway, borrowers under the PPP loan program were required to spend the money in qualified expenses such as payroll costs, rent, utility, mortgage interests, and have the loans forgiven. So if you did that, you're safe. Now, small micro business borrowers of $50,000 or less will have their loan wiped out entirely, even if they had to cut employees or wages. What? Yes. Even if they had to cut employees or wages. This means that there are no parameters for borrowers of $50,000 or less. Wow, guys, did you hear that? No parameters for borrowers $50,000 or less, Kendall said. He recommended business owners speak with their bankers to ask about their new rules and learn some when forgiveness program opens. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said PPP loans totaled $525 billion to American small businesses, providing critical economic relief and supporting more than 51 million jobs in the press. Thursday, he said that. But this is where it gets tricky. Tax implications of this debt forgiveness to the taxes are unclear. Said David Sells, a Blue Bell certified public accountant. Yes, that these $50,000 or less loans are 100% forgiven, but there's still the issue of whether the money will be taxable or tax-free. That nuance will require new legislation or inclusion in the next stimulus bill, he said. But still, even if you got to pay the taxes on your loan of your forgiveness, that's not a bad deal, people. 10% of $50,000 is $5,000 that you got to pay, as opposed to the $50,000 that you got lent to you, which the $5,000 can become forgivable in the future. And parties that need votes will forgive it. They will forgive it. Think about it. Why wouldn't they, right? Hopefully they'll forgive it, just in case. This may cause timing problem where the deductions for these loans expenses may be taken in 2020, but income from the loan as viewed by the IRS not reported until 2021 when loan forgiveness occurs. The question now is, should I wait to file for forgiveness? Forensic accountants recommended that the clients wait even longer to file for loan forgiveness. The SBA began approving PPP forgiveness applications from banks and other lenders on October 2nd. So if you have filed for forgiveness, that's fine. We're suggesting recipients of all sizes hold off applying for forgiveness, even if you anticipate receiving full forgiveness. Right now, there appears to be no urgency for borrowers to rush into forgiveness process because they see potentially getting better and easier. There may even be possibility of getting a little bit more money or a threshold for waiving the application for forgiveness. We should just wait and see what comes out of Washington. Whether I agree with that statement or not, they're saying it can be forgiven now, but you might want to wait because it could get even sweeter. I don't know if I would myself wait for forgiveness if they were offering it to me now. They could say they could sweeten the deal. I don't understand how they could sweeten the deal if they're saying it can be sweetened, but maybe the taxes will be non-taxed. I don't quite get the wording on that, and I don't think they do either, is why they're saying hold off. Would it hurt to go ahead and apply for the loan forgiveness now in the long run? I don't know. I personally would think, here's the deal. If you don't need another loan, you wouldn't need forgiveness. You cannot get another loan unless you get the forgiveness. Unless that's what they're talking about, where they can sweeten the deal and say they'll give you more money than what you had previously been given, and then they'll forgive all of that. Maybe that's making it more easier, but here's the deal. If we wait a little longer, do we have to start paying for the loan on a specific time? And if we do wait longer, are they saying if the Democrats win the election, or if the Republicans win the election? They're not saying the details here. So, and this is just another accountant. This is the Philadelphia Inquirer. It's another accountant from another stage, and who knows how closely they've been following this. Have they been following it as closely as we have? We've been pretty up on this. And if I see a forgiveness opportunity, I'm inclined to jump on it. If I did jump on it and later they say, hey, you shouldn't have jumped on it, now look what they're doing, I could be like, okay, I shouldn't have jumped on it. Ouch. Darn, I wish I wouldn't have jumped on it. But if I don't jump on it and this next thing this next hopeful that they're offering doesn't happen, and I'm like, I should have jumped on it when I did, spin my head around a few times, stop me and say, this is where we're looking at now. Well, guys, this is what we're looking at now. $50,000 of debt below $50,000 on your PPP loans looking like they're going to be 100% forgiven. But there's still the issue of whether money will be taxable or tax-free. So, with that said, think about that. Will I have to file it in my taxes? We don't know that part yet. We'll find out later on. Here's the good part. $50,000 or less will be forgiven. Yay! Okay. Have some more information later coming on the SBA EIDL second round loan that I had filed for. Guess what, guys? Was I approved or denied? Coming up on the next one. And I'll find out if you were as well. And if we were denied, what do we do? If we were approved, what do we do? Coming up later. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe. Bye.